Welcome to Central News for Wednesday, 28th of August. I'm Amy Forrest. In today's news, Waikato has hit the 95% better help for smokers to quit health target in its hospitals for the first time since the introduction of the target in July 2009. Back then, only 39% of patients who smoked and were seen by a public practitioner in one of Waikato DHB's 5 hospitals were offered brief advice and support to quit smoking. Director of Nursing Sue Hayward says asking for this information results in patients making their single biggest health lifestyle decision and is a simple contribution to their overall well-being. Taurunga's iconic Mr Chips brand is once again New Zealand owned after spending 5 years across the Tasman. The potato product processor established in Taurunga in the early 1980s has been sold to Pukekohe-based Bali Brothers Group for an undisclosed amount. For Bali Brothers, the purchase renews a relationship with Mr Chips dating back to 1981 as a supplier and as a shareholder of the listed company from 1993. Bali Brothers Group Managing Director Daisy Bali says the move is a positive step for the New Zealand potato industry. A 19-year-old Tauranga man has admitted to shooting a BB gun into a group of intermediate students in Mount Maunganui. Todd Doyle pleaded guilty to assault with a firearm and unlawful possession of a firearm in Tauranga District Court on Tuesday, according to the police summary of facts. Doyle and co-offender Aaron Luke Wilton Jones took turns at shooting a BB gun and was fired into a group of students, hitting an 11-year-old intermediate student in the ankle. Wilton Jones previously admitted to firing the BB gun and was sentenced to 3 months home detention and 60 hours community work on August 12th. Doyle has been remanded on bail and will appear for sentencing on October 7th. Now for our region's weather. Hamilton, the rain will ease for you in the afternoon with a high of 13 and a low of 2. And much the same for you, Tauranga, with showers clearing in the evening, a high of 15 and a low of 5. Just ahead, we speak with the Prime Minister. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Tonight we look back at our interview with the Prime Minister.
Inflated house prices, topical issue, big issue. You've just released some new policy around that.
We have. Okay, so what's happening is house prices across the country are generally rising, generally orderly, but in the case of Auckland and Christchurch, there are pinch points in the system. So why is that in Auckland? 2 factors. One, because you had the global financial crisis, a lot of developers went broke, finance companies that supported them went broke, so you just weren't building enough homes. And secondly, first home buyers, who form quite a big part of the market, they were a bit nervous about losing their job. 2009, 2010, just a little bit nervous they'd keep their job or get a job. So a bow wave of demand built up. Second thing is with migration, people coming, say, from Dunedin to come and live in Auckland or coming from Shanghai to live in Auckland, those numbers are net very positive now. So we have been building, very broad terms, 4,000 homes a year, new homes in Auckland. To just take care of the population growth, you need 13,000. So what we've done is a few things. One, reached an agreement with Auckland Council, they'll consent 39,000 new homes over the next 3 years, so a lot more homes will be produced because it's a supply issue. 2, basically reform the Resource Management Act so it speeds up the release of land, because that's what's really driving it. So 10 years ago, median house section price in Auckland, 100 grand, today 325,000. So it's land that's driving the issue. Thirdly, training more builders, so and carpenters and tilers and people associated with the industry, so they're there. Fourth thing is we're giving more assistance to first home buyers, and that's through the KiwiSaver subsidies and things we announced in the weekend. So no one thing will fix it, but the overall package will help.
Your government is a strong advocate of the Auckland Super City. Do you think it has been a success?
In my view, yes. I mean, it's a bit of a different issue solely from the housing issue. Housing issues are somewhat a release of land and various other issues. But you had 7 councils plus the regional council, so we put those together. The savings in terms of administration quite high. You got one voice in Auckland, Len Brown, so love or hate it, you can get a voice. And so if you think about the Sky City Convention Centre, personally we're deeply in favour of it. I can give you a chapter and verse why we think that's a good thing. But you had Len Brown supporting it, and even though some councillors were opposed, in reality you could get movement. It's the same thing around the CBD rail tunnel or various other projects we're working on. If we'd had 7 councils in the TLA, I don't think we would have got there.
What are the areas of the super city structure that you think need improvement?
Well, there's certainly still more behind the scenes work that needs to be done. They're integrating those 7 systems, everything from computer systems and things. They need to get through that process of adjustment on rates because every different city rated in a different way, so that is causing some digestion issues for people. There's been some talk about whether the Maori Statutory Board has worked very well. A lot of range of views on whether that's worked effectively. But I mean, overall, I think you've got to give the council a reasonably big tick. I think they're doing their job and they're getting on with it.
And will the national government be considering adopting a similar model for Waikato and the Bay of Plenty?
We're not planning to drive that in the same way we did with Auckland. So you've got to remember we inherited a Royal Commission of Inquiry into Auckland because the previous government was deeply frustrated with the way things were working and no one thought it was working. So having got to that point, it would be very odd to have a Royal Commission just say, look, thanks very much, it was lovely, but we're not going to do anything. And we actually anyway didn't believe the previous system was working any more than the previous government had. So we carried that out. What we have done is change the Local Government Act to make it easier for communities to choose to amalgamate. So we're not saying that every region should be a super area or a super city. The Waikato needs to think about, okay, does it want to live in councils and would there be benefits of having consolidation? There are many ways to skin a cat, of course, and in your area, I know because I've met with all of your mayors at some point or another, they are constructively often working with each other. So their back office, they have shared services and different things. So it's not really for us to force it upon them, although there are some in local government that would love us to do it because they think it's the right thing to do, but politically hard to achieve. But our preference is to leave it in the hands of the voters.
As the Minister of Tourism, what rescue work do you think you have to do to protect that 100% pure image in the wake of the Fonterra botulism saga?
There will always be people that take an opportunity to push their own barrow on the back of somebody else's misfortune. So the people that attack 100% pure, and it's not new by the way, it's not just because of the Fonterra scandal, they've been doing that for quite some time. They're generally speaking environmentalists who think that the government's not doing enough, okay, around water quality, air quality, whatever it might be. I would say this government's got a really good record in those areas. So we're spending 5 times what the previous Labor government spent on water quality, for instance. We're seeing improvements in a number of areas. But someone like Mike Joy, who's at the Waikato, I think it's at Waikato University, he uses 100% pure and tries to beat the government over the head with it because he's got his own agenda. Fair enough. But is he right? I mean, 100% pure is a marketing campaign. It's like saying BMW is the ultimate driving machine. Well, actually, Mercedes might have a view about whether it's the ultimate driving machine, but it doesn't stop BMW using that slogan. McDonald's use I'm loving it. Well, some nights when you're eating it, you might be loving it, and other nights you might be just thinking, thank God I'm getting something to eat because I'm a little bit hungry and in a hurry. So, the bottom line is people have got to be a little bit sensible and not too precious about a marketing campaign because, look, when the first Maori came to New Zealand and started burning fires to keep warm, by definition, it wasn't 100% pure. So personally, the tourism industry and that slogan and that marketing campaign has been the envy of Australia and lots of other parts around the world who have changed their slogan numerous times. And there'll always be people who try and stop us. I have to laugh when I see the Daily Mail having a go, because from memory, the Daily Mail and the British tabloids also want to stop us doing the haka when the All Blacks go out and run on the pitch at Twickenham, and we won't be doing that either.
What are you doing to encourage more tourism into the Bay of Plenty? I mean, it's a real developing tourism mecca.
Really just pointing out what's fantastic here for a start off, because there's just so much in the Bay which is people would want to come to. That's the first thing. Second thing, making sure that they're supported. Essentially, it's really important that there's ultra fast broadband, for instance, so tourists can use their Facebook or whatever put their pictures up or whatever it might be. Thirdly, making sure that they're safe and well supported. So we try and do a lot through our marketing campaign so people know where to go. They have a sense of quality through Qualmark and the likes that we do. We're spending a lot more money promoting not only just New Zealand, so we put an extra 150 odd million in, but part of the fund of that 150 million can be matched. So your local tourism authority can join with us and do a joint marketing campaign, or Air New Zealand can join with us and do a marketing campaign where they support flying to one particular part of New Zealand, for instance. So there's quite a bit we can do.
Now, getting a bit Women's Magazine, in your time as the Prime Minister, you have had to deal with the Christchurch earthquake, the Rena, the Kim.com issue. It has been quite a lot to deal with for a Prime Minister. I mean, how do you deal with that stress, that time management?
Time management's difficult because, by definition, there's only 24 hours in a day and you've got to get a little bit of sleep. And, we have 2 children and I have a wife, so, you've got to spend some family time. But in reality, you're always going to be busy over that time. Secondly, one of the things is I don't worry about it too much, in so much that I'm quite good at taking a bit on the chin. I don't spend ages dwelling on bad stuff that's written about me or said about me or things that aren't true, of which there is a great number. But my experience of New Zealanders is they're extremely good at sort of filtering through all that. Those who don't like me, when they see that stuff, will like me a bit less. Those who do like me will say, well, it's probably not true anyway. They happen to be right, but anyway, that's life. And if I worried about it too much, I actually wouldn't get on with the job, because I've got a lot of things I need to do for New Zealand over not only the past 5 years I've been there, but hopefully the years to come in the future. So look, we do family things. I go and play a bit of golf. I find that, well, sometimes that's relaxing, but that's just frustration sometimes in a different area. I make sure we take family holidays. Our daughter just came back. She's at university in Paris at the moment, so we took a family holiday for a few days together. I take Brona out for dinner when I can. We just do normal things, really.
Up next, Daffodil Day. Welcome back. Daffodil Day is coming up this Friday, the 30th of August. 1 in 3 New Zealanders are affected by cancer, and we have one of the highest rates of skin cancer in the world. Hilary spoke with our region's representative to find out what the yellow daffodil symbolises.
Welcome to the program, Sarah. So what is the history of Daffodil Day?
Well, Daffodil Day is actually one of New Zealand's longest running and most well recognised and iconic fundraising events. It actually started in 1990, so it's been running for 23 years now. And it's, just Daffodil Day. It's a collection for the Cancer Society.
And what does the daffodil symbolise?
Well, the daffodil is actually one of the first flowers of spring, and so it's a sign of new hope and, new opportunities and the things to come. And so for the 1 in 3 New Zealanders affected by cancer, it's a symbol of hope.
And if I gave $10, so what could that go towards?
Well, $10, it could go towards providing information and support to people who are affected by cancer.
And businesses may want to donate kind of larger sums. So what would, say, if they donated $500, what would that go towards?
That'd be lovely. Well, say they wanted to donate $500, it could go towards research, towards finding a cure or finding treatment and, new information into cancer. But any donation, large or small, it all makes a difference.
And does the Cancer Society receive any additional funding?
No, so we don't receive any direct government funding, so we are reliant completely on the generosity and support of our community.
Wow, so how much of the donations actually go to the services?
It's about 85 cents in a dollar. We try to keep it as small as possible, so it sits around there.
And I understand the Cancer Society is unique as donations go directly back to the community that they're funded in.
Yeah, that's right. So we're one of 6 divisions of the Cancer Society of New Zealand, and we're actually the second largest division. We cover Waikato, Bay of Plenty, Thames, Coromandel, King Country, Rotorua and Taupo. So it's quite a big area, but all the money that's raised in those areas, in those small communities, they stay there. So you're actually helping your neighbour or helping, the people in your community that you know.
And what involvement does ANZ have? Because they're always on the advertisements, aren't they?
Yeah, so ANZ is our principal sponsor this year, and it's pretty exciting because National Bank has been our previous sponsor, and they've been with us since 1990, since the beginning. And when ANZ took over National Bank, they also decided to stay on board as our sponsor. So it's a really long-standing relationship that we're really excited about.
And what services do you provide to someone who's dealing with, that initial early stages of cancer?
Well, our services are really available to anybody at any stage in their cancer journey. But when you're right in those early stages, most people are looking for a bit more information and a little bit of support just to wrap their heads around what's going on. And so our information libraries are probably one of the first places people go. And we've got quite a wide range of credible and easy to understand and reliable information available. We also have liaison nurses who are fantastic people, and they're all oncology trained nurses, and they are trained to support people in the community, and they can offer support and information and be there right from the start to the end of your journey.
What about people undergoing treatment? You're supporting them as well?
Absolutely, right from treatment, right from diagnosis to treatment and right to the end of their journey, where I've got services available. And our services are available for people at any stage in their journey, and it just depends what people find is going to suit them the best. So our liaison nurses are again a fantastic source of support throughout that entire process. But when you're actually undergoing treatment, we've also got massage therapy available to help ease the symptoms. We've also got exercise programs available to help you regain strength, and there's been research around showing that exercise actually can help improve your recovery from treatment. We've also got information programs like our Living Well program, just to help you with your day-to-day living and make sure you're getting the most out of life still. And then also we've got our lodge, obviously, which is one of our biggest services. So while you're undergoing treatment, if you're not local to Hamilton and you're going through treatment at the Waikato Cancer Centre there, you might be eligible to stay at the lodge and have that support there.
And do you guys, deal with every single type of cancer there is, pretty much? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. Our motto is actually any cancer, any question. So any type, any stage of cancer, we're available.
And how much of the Cancer Society is about the research?
The research is definitely a really important part of the Cancer Society, and we're actually the second biggest funder of cancer research after the government. Divisionally, we support local research and national research, and in the past year we've given $370,000 towards a national research fund, but locally we also support several local projects, and one of them is Dr. Michael Jameson at the Waikato Hospital and his team. We've supported him for going on 7 years now, I think, with a variety of research projects, so it's definitely up there in the priority list.
Do you guys need volunteers or...?
Well, volunteers is something that we always need. We actually couldn't provide many of our services without them, so we're always on the lookout for volunteers. And I think the thing with volunteering is that it's something that you can do if you've got heaps of time to give, or if you've only got an hour or two, perfect time to come and volunteer on Daffodil Day and give a couple hours.
So what are the statistics, in New Zealand? How many people are diagnosed every year?
Well, as we say, the stats for New Zealand, we've got 1 in 3 people are affected by cancer. And when we say affected by cancer, that's people who have been diagnosed, people who know someone who's been know someone who's got cancer. Really varies there. But we actually have one of the highest incidents of skin cancer in the world, us in Australia, and we have about 250 people get diagnosed with skin cancer a year.
It's quite shocking, isn't it? Well,
yeah.
We'll have to remember to give generously on Daffodil Day. Thank you.
Thanks.
After the break, Footsteps. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. Footsteps offers a wide range of childcare services throughout New Zealand, and Harriet Wilson caught up with the CEO, Kevin Christie, to find out more.
How do you think that this bill is going to help agencies and professionals share information better?
They've been forced to do it, because no longer is it about their agency. The centre of attention is the child. So what happens is the information relating to this child is shared by the various agencies. It's not owned by a single agency, and that's quite exciting.
What sort of opportunities are there for New Zealanders to get involved in the next steps towards prevention?
We've found at Footsteps that one of the problems is that when you're dealing with government or semi-government or any NGOs, they like to define what should be done and how it should be done under what circumstances. And because, as I've previously said, these children don't fit into those categories, we've launched something called the Footsteps Foundation. The Footsteps Foundation is getting other people to partner with us financially so that the children that don't fit within those defined norms have an outside source of funds where businesses and everybody can get involved. For a mere $6,000, you can ensure the early education of one child for an entire year. So, yeah, come on board with us. And we're not asking people to do what we haven't done. We've put $250,000 into this foundation already.
So this conference has been the first of its kind. Will it be happening again in years to come?
Annually, it will be happening annually, and the vulnerable children focus will be more and more. If you want to see more reports on this, you can go to our website on footsteps.co.nz or our foundation website, which is found at the same place. And if you go and look, you can follow these conferences on an annual basis.
What stands out about Footsteps as an organisation?
It's an organisation that has actually decided that it's really important to do the things well, but not to own the things we do well, to work in collaboration with the other things. And we've chosen a path that says you can be very successful in your community, you can be caring, and you can run a business. Because normally people ask you to be one or the other. We see no reason why you have to be separate. You can make it a one.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the history of Footsteps and how it all sort of came together to get you to where you are today?
Around about 5 years ago, we purchased an organisation called Linmark, and out of that organisation we saw that there were aspects of it that if we rebuilt the foundation, we could make it focused on providing the best quality education for the most needy children in our community, and at the same time could provide the same quality to what you would regard as normal New Zealand children. So we could do a holistic thing to a very high standard. But don't believe what we say about our standard. Talk to the people that use us, and you'll see that they also accept that our quality is of that real high calibre.
And what makes your staff able to cope and work with vulnerable children and be effective at what they do?
That part I spoke about not talking about things, actually doing it. So what we've done is we've taken every staff member who's a qualified teacher, and then on top of that we've made them qualified in recognising the signs of child abuse. We're busy doing that for fetal alcohol syndrome, and we're busy doing that for attachment. So they become almost super teachers because we give them 20 days training a year.
What sort of things have your staff been learning at the conference?
How to apply these further and how to collaborate further with other people.
That is the news for today. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook and let us know your views. If you have any news, including your own video or photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. Hilary will be back tomorrow with more guests from in and around the region. I'm Amy Forrest. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.